Hey everybody, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and this week's episode we're getting back to work on the 69 Mustang. We've got some primering to do. So as you saw in the last episode, I stripped the roof down to bare metal and I want to get that covered. We're still working on our sail panel area. We still got to get that lead fill figured out, but I don't want to leave the bare metal where it is right now. So we're going to get to work on that. We're going to get this cowl off. We're going to, strip down the paint all over the place to make sure it's ready to go, down the A-pillars and everything like that. So I'm going to kind of get to that and then get some Eastwood primer on it. I've got the roll-on primer, so we'll give that a go, I think. So let's get to it.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say.
Hey, about to get to work on the Mustang today. We're going to probably pull off all this trim on the windshield. I need to pull the fender back off as well. To get that bottom trim piece off, it's held on by two little bolts on the bottom side of it. So need to do that. That way we can get to the A-pillars and get them done. Probably going to pull off the cowl as well because it's a bolt-on cowl on the 69. And I need to strip the paint off of that as well, or at least sand that down. We'll see how many layers are on that. So we'll see what we're going to do there. So we're going to do some disassembly today and then decide if we want to go ahead and start doing some more sanding. It's always a lot of work. I think there's some lead fill up in these A-pillars because it feels a little wonky up in here. So I'm assuming there was a lead fill area, and I might have used that disc a little bit too much because it's kind of not smooth. So that's an interesting little fact I didn't know, possibly. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, the roof's nice and, bare metal. And I need to get these top edges and, kind of get rid of some of that stuff there. So, just more work. So, let's get to it. Alright, so we went ahead and got all the trim off. Was pretty easy, just use my plastic piece to pull these up. Luckily I don't see any rot per se. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'll have to dig a little deeper, but all my little pieces where these brackets go in place are intact from what I can see. There's 1/4 inch screws So it was a 1/4 inch socket to get all these out. So what it is you got an edge that holds these pieces in place on the end that's a 1/4 inch. And then you got to basically go all along the front side of the cowl. There's 1/4 inch pieces, head screws that hold it on, and you can slide it out from underneath that bottom trim. And then once you pull that out, there's 1/4 inch head screws that hold the trim piece on. So I've removed all those, removed all my clips. I'm going to go get the vacuum and kind of get all the dust out of here. So that's never going to be good. Don't want all that in our clean air vents. And then I'm going to probably do some more sanding on these A-pillars. I'm feeling this right here, and it doesn't feel exactly smooth here either. So I am wondering if there's some lead fill, because if you come over here, and you probably can't see it, where I took that piece to it, it's not smooth. So I can feel divots in the metal, which tells me that either A, it's just some kind of wonky, and or B, there's a little bit of lead in here and I might have got a little too crazy on it. But yet again, we're just going to do some cleanup and then start getting this sanded down. So alright, let's get back to it. Hey everybody, we're out here about to clean this roof off, get my waxing whatever remover, wax and grease remover, clean it up, and we're going to roll on some Eastwood primer. So it's our epoxy primer. So I've never used this stuff before, but I've got a kit and we're going to give it a go. So it's a 50-50 mix, and just roll it on and, well, I guess hope. So just basically, I really want to work on this. I don't want to leave this bare metal anymore. I don't want to start getting rust on it. So we're going to go ahead and get this epoxy primer on it and go from there. All right, peace. Alright everybody, I highly discourage you from doing things like this if you have a wife at home. I took this little egg beater and basically put it on my drill to mix this paint up a little bit better because it's separated real bad. So alright, so it's on. I'm not sure about this stuff. It's also been sitting in my garage for like a year, so you never know, it could be part of the issue. There's a lot of orange peel look right now, but it is still wet, so you gotta let it sit. Either way, it should at least protect the metal. It is epoxy primer, and we'll see. I've heard good things about it, and maybe it just takes some time to lay flat down. But there's 2 coats on here, so at least that's something to protect the bare metal. I also did some excess with it on the door just because I had it, and that to cover that metal up a little bit. It's a little bit squirrely, a little bit ugly, but hey, some primer is better than no primer, right? It's better than bare metal. So these were protected here, and we'll see if my homemade mixer. Like I said, I basically took an egg beater and put it into my old handy drill and mixed it up because it was so thick at the bottom. It separated in the paint can. So I had to mix that up really well. And it's a 50-50 mix, so I might have probably should have shaken the hardener too, but I didn't. But either way, that's what we got. I used 2 rollers. I wasn't really impressed with the smaller roller, even though it did help me get more in here. It is what it is. So it's primer, it can sand off. So even if it doesn't turn out well, that's just the way it goes. So I guess I should have probably done it down here as well, but we are still working on the coats. So this is going to have to be sanded down one way or another. But yet again, at least most of the roof is now covered. So that's probably going to be it for the day. Just wanted to get a little bit of work done. Things have been slow. Cold is creeping in. Plus I've got that new shop dog who's taking up a lot of my time because he requires a lot of attention because he's a little puppy. And yeah. So later. Alright guys, I just wanted to do a little follow-up real quick and kind of go over what I'm doing today. But mostly just following up on the paint that I put on the roof, which is the Roll-On 3M Epoxy Primer. So I'll turn around here, and so it turned out pretty good. I have no major complaints. It's a little bit weird in the center, which is probably me over-rolling. A little bit of orange peel look over here. And obviously you can see that's where my Bondo is for this thing that I need to still work on. But I went ahead and just rolled over a little bit of it too. But it looks pretty good. It flattened out pretty well in comparison. Unfortunately, either I got some junk on the roller or in the paint or just did not get it quite clean enough because there is some dirt in here. So there's some spots. I mean, it's going to have to be sanded, but it's really about keeping this metal clean. But I've got so much work to do on this car, and there's going to be a lot of spray painting going on. So I'm about to start tearing all the interior right back out. I've got the carpet in there and stuff like that, so I want to go ahead and get that out of here. Then my center console, and it all needs to be clean because of all the sanding I've already done. Obviously there's a lot of dust, so I'll have to, you know, do some work there. But I figured it's a good day to go ahead and start ripping things out that I don't want to get paint on. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously I'm not going to time lapse me pulling things apart as far as carpet, so this might be the last video for this episode just because I don't know if I'll get to anything else. So it might be a short episode, but like I said, you can see this paint and it goes on pretty good. I have no real complaints. I mean, this, yet again, this is epoxy. So, I mean, you're always going to put more primer on it, and it's a little shiny. You can kind of see there's a couple little divots in the roof. So it kind of really allowed me to see, you know, these little spots, you know, where it needs like some very minor filler. You can see that like right here, I didn't get all the paint around these riv nuts that hold on the louvers, stuff like that. So, I mean, they're just little areas. And then we're on this side, you can see yet again where the Bondo is, where we were working on this that we haven't got done yet. So, but all right, that's it, guys. Peace. Working on this ride, we have a lot of work to do. I'm going to start doing a lot more sanding and body work. Start getting this door aligned right. We've got almost all our alignment. I still got to check some things. We're going to get the valence on there, see if we're going to have to cut it a little bit, maybe get it fit a little bit better. But things are coming along. So we'll start doing some more of that next week. But like, subscribe, comment. Got any tips or hints? Let me know. And thanks for following along, everybody. We'll see you next week. Peace.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, but